ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
It is time for our guests who are waiting eagerly on the breakfast show sofa this morning, and they have big smiles on their faces this morning. I think they're very excited personally to be on the show.
जी बिल्कुल जिन्होंने इसी वेट इंतजार का आज सारे स्पेशल गेस्ट साडे कोल पहुंच चुके हैं उन्होंने सारे रूबरू करने मेरी मुराद है जुगराज सिंह जी जी आयन जी वाहिगुरू जी
वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह जी
नौजवान दा मैं सॉरी ना नहीं जानता
जी गोविंद सिंह
जी ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਜੀ
जुगराज सिंह जी ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੈਕਗ੍ਰਾਉਂਡ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਨਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਨਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਈ
ਅੱਛਾ ਜੀ ਆਈ ਵਾਸ ਬੋਰਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਯੂਕੇ ਵਿੱਚ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਬਟ ਮੈਂ 10 ਸਾਲ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਬਚਪਨ ਵਿੱਚ
10 ਸਾਲ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਰਹੇ
10 years
ਓਹ ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ
I came back here when I was 11
Oh right, so in the first sort of 10 years of your life you were in India.
ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਬੇਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਉਹ
ਪਤਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਇਹ ਬੜੀ ਅਜੀਬ ਜੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ my dad was in the army in India
Yes.
so I was in India for the first 10 years and I learned Hindi first
Really?
ਕਿਹੜੇ ਦੀ ਚਲੇ ਜਾ
Wow.
ਅੰਬਾਲਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ
ਹੰਬਾਲਾ
ਵੈਸੇ ਅੰਬਾਲਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਪਰ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਰਮੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਸੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
so I learned Hindi first Hindi and English were my two languages ਤੇ ਜਦ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈंने फिर पंजाबी सीखनी पड़ी थी
अच्छा
I couldn't read गुरमुखी or anything I had to start
ठीक
from
है जी
scratch
हम आपसे हिंदी में बात कर
नहीं,
लेते
नहीं,
हैं मुझे
ऐसा कुछ ना करो
मैं भी हिंदी बोल लेता हूँ
people
भैया
at home will be getting a bit confused
मेरे को हिंदी आती है भाई
अच्छा that's
मैं
good.
भी हिंदी बोल लेता हूँ
Okay.
पढ़ लेता हूँ
अच्छा,
लिख लेता हूँ
अच्छा।
ऐसी कोई बात
Wow.
नहीं
Me too.
बहुत
so,
बढ़िया That's amazing.
it's actually a very good base to learn Gurmukhi because we say Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh
Yes.
whereas the people that assume that we speak Punjabi they say Waheguru Ji Da Khalsa so they get it wrong because a lot of Gurbani has the language is the language of India. You've got
Yeah.
Braj Bhasha, you've got other languages in there, so it helps to know more than just Punjabi.
हाँ जी
So Maharaj Ji Kirpa, that helped me to understand Gurmukhi.
ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਫਿਰ ਅੰਬਾਲੇ ਚ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ
Hanji, Hanji, Ambali Army School.
ਅੱਛਾ
And then we travelled a lot in India, so I saw a lot of India growing up.
Fantastic.
So I didn't really live in Punjab at all,
Achha.
growing up. So it was a bit of an experience for me to go to the Pind. Just like people from here go to
Yes.
the Pind, है ना?
Yeah.
I'd never been to the Pind, I see you share it,
ਅੱਛਾ ਅੱਛਾ
so it was new for me. But then when I came back here when I was 11, and we moved to Hounslow. So it was an Asian area. I grew up in school there. And actually, I had my patka when I was a kid, but then I cut it when I came to this country.
Yes.
Probably like a lot of kids, they feel they can't fit in. So I wasn't anywhere near Sikhi really growing up.
Hanji.
And then I finished my studies at school, and then I was lucky. I managed to get into a good university.
Yeah.
So then I studied philosophy and economics. It was only when I was studying philosophy, मैंने फिर वो सवाल कर दिया ना कि कैसी क्यों आए धरती होते, what's our aim in life, you know, and you hear what other people are saying like Plato, Aristotle, and I was always wondering कि गुरु साहब ने की क्या होगा, है ना, वो कोई सिखा नहीं सिखाने वास्ते, you know, गुरुद्वारे they don't do a very good job of teaching, so I'd always seen people giving out leaflets to come to a camp.
Yes.
You know the camp leaflets, they always at their stall.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll go to a camp and find out what Sikhi is about. So I was lucky enough to go to a Sikh camp in 2000. It was after my second year at university, and bus or hafte baad hi I took on it straight away.
That's fantastic.
It was just life changing. So just the sanghas were so powerful, the simran. I didn't know any part, didn't know any kirtan. I just was inspired by Sikhi. So since then I went to India then, and I learned Punjabi. This time. I had to start from Uda Hada Edi, start from scratch. But it does help to understand that there's Laga Matra and then there's the main akkars.
ਵੈਸੇ ਸਿਮਿਲਰ ਕੋ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ
ਸਿਮਿਲਰ ਹੈਗੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਿੰਦੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਜਲਦੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੂੰ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਉਹ ਪਤਾ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਨਾਂਸੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਫਰਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ I went to see we went to see a sant in India and I was speaking to him. I thought I was speaking Punjabi.
Yes.
But the sant turned around to my friend and goes, "Eh, Hindi kyun bolta hai?" I didn't realize that my Punjabi was nowhere. So you assume you're speaking Hindi, but actually you're talking Punjabi. But it's the other person thinks, "Yeah, but so I had to start from scratch, and so then I learned Punjabi and learned Gurmukhi, and I think I was lucky because right at the very beginning I went to Chandigarh and I stayed in Chandigarh, and there was a sanstha that was set up by by Western Sikhs who'd come from Punjabi Sikhs, but they were living abroad.
Okay.
You might know Bibi Navleen Kaur. She was part of that organisation called Fateh. So I studied there for about 6 months. And then I carried on taking Santhya. I went to Amritsar and studied there for a little while in Darbar Sahib. And just really, it was just to understand what Gurmukhi was. Because I'd taken Amrit already, but I didn't know Gurmukhi. So I had to start from learning what Part actually meant, you know, and what we were saying. So it was a bit of a revelation to me, like what Maharaj had written, because I didn't know but I knew it was going to be good. But I just didn't know how good it was going to be. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I had to start from scratch to learn Gurmukhi.
That's brilliant. I
ਵੈਸੇ
mean,
ਥੋੜੀ ਜੀ ਅੰਬਾਲੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਚ ਰਹੇ ਜੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਦਾ ਦਿਹਾਤੀ ਏਰੀਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਹਰਿਆਣਵੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹਰਿਆਣਵੀ ਬੱਚੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਚ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਨੇ
ਘੱਟ ਹੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਰਮੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀਗੇ
ਆਰਮੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਚ
ਉੱਥੇ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਸਕੂਲ ਵੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ
ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਹਰਿਆਣਵੀ ਹੋਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੜਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਓੜਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ
ਪਤਾ ਨਾ
well we traveled around too much ਹੈ ਨਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹਿਸਾਰ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਮਦਰਾਸ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ
ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਹਰਿਆਣਵੀ ਜੀ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ ਦੇਖਿਆ
No, I wouldn't understand it. I was too young. I was 10 years old.
Oh, 10 years
oh, I see. You're 10 years old.
ਗੁਰਬਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲਈ ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੀ ਬੈਕਗ੍ਰਾਉਂਡ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜੀ, absolutely.
Anji, background, well, I was always a single nasi.
Yes.
Okay, yes, they kill me with this, and always had my hair on my head, and but I was never really into Sikhi, to be honest. And I think as throughout university, I kind of started exploring Sikhi.
Oh, so it was when you went to uni as well.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so slowly, Marj now pick it, and so I took Amrit, and yeah, so it's not as that big of a story and complicated of a story anyway. So pretty straightforward. But yeah, about a year and a half ago anyway, I met Jagraj Singh, and to be honest, my Sikhi was kind of a little bit out of a standstill. It was kind of almost reached a plateau like of what I knew. So, but I saw one of his videos online, and I just got in touch with him and said, "Listen, I need to get involved. I want to help. I want to help somehow. I want to do something."
Fantastic. And you just got in contact with him and you got involved.
Yeah.
I mean, so were you born in this country then, or?
Yeah, no, I was born in this country.
So
Yeah,
you grew up in this country.
I was actually born in East London. So yeah, so I've studied here, etc. Everything. But I mean, Punjabi wise, like thodi ondi ji hai na. But like I'm lucky my parents speak to me in Punjabi, etc. And so I understand it.
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੂਨੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜੇ ਯੂਨੀ ਜਾਣ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਮਾਲਾ ਸਜਾ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ
No, halfway between ਜਿੱਦਾਂ I started tying up ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਣਨਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਦਮਾਲਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਗੋਲ ਪੱਗੀ ਬਣਦਾ ਸੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ so slowly ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਆ so ਹੌਲੀ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦਮਾਲਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਜਣਾ yeah.
Gobind Singh is one of the trustees of our charity, Everything's 13. It's such a prachari charity hai. So when he got involved, he does all of our graphic design. The leaflet you've got, the 3 facts leaflet.
Yes.
That's all the design is from Singh here.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really helps us because it's all very well me having an idea.
Yeah.
And but I don't know what to do with it. I've got no graphic design skills.
I mean, the basics of Sikhi. How did you actually come up with the idea? How did you think, actually, you know what, I'm going to do the basics of Sikhi. I'm going to start making YouTube videos. I'm going to start teaching people about, things that they should know. But in actual fact, people actually don't know these things. Where did you come up with all of that concept?
To be honest, it's not a brilliant idea. And loads of people have that idea.
Yeah.
And loads of the camps are around about it. But the thing is I got a bit of a slap in the face, to be honest, from Maharaj. I had my own business. I was working. We had a lot of time to kind of do other things.
Sure.
And we were successful. All Maharaj Kirpa, after I came, I probably I'm 34 now, so it's about 32 years old, 33 years old. And I realized that there was a lot of problems out there, but always, you feel like somebody else should solve that problem.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this video, and there was a girl talking about how she almost converted out from Sikhi. And she didn't even know the ABCD of Sikhi. And she was saying that she really needed somebody to tell her that. She couldn't find it anywhere. She went to Gurdwara, the websites are very confusing.
Yeah.
And, as soon as what you see on the websites is, it goes from the basics to the extreme, or not extreme, but the advanced very quickly.
Sure.
And sometimes people just need something in bite-sized clips. And then I was watching another video. It was actually a Muslim guy talking to university students. Because I was seeing, I wonder what they do. Always you think, and ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ because they don't go to the same talks together. They keep them separate. And ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿ put them on YouTube. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ put them on YouTube? That's a ajeeb jawab. I would never have thought of that. So I went onto YouTube and I typed in Islam and what's on there. And I was shocked. They had so much everything you could think about was there. Little videos, long videos, blogs, hundreds of bloggers. Like basically, imagine basically times 100.
Yes.
And they've easily got that already there. And I was like, wow. And then I said, let me see what Sikhi's got. And you know what? It was nothing. If you typed in what is Sikhism back then into YouTube, the video by Zakir Naik came to the top.
What was
And
back then? I mean, how many years ago was that?
No, this is last year in February.
This is last year?
February was the first
Really?
time last year we released the videos. And now if you type in what is Sikhism, Marati Girpa, our video comes to the top. And Zakir, and since then, some other people have put their videos up.
Yes.
And Zakir Naik is like 7th or 8th. But you know, this is the problem there was. There was like, in YouTube I found out, was the 3rd biggest website in this country. Or even globally. So, jede sade naujawan hai ki aajkal, when they want to find out something, they don't necessarily use Google anymore.
No, they
use
just go onto YouTube, yeah.
You know? So there's a big gap there. And I was just sitting at my work. I was, you know, I had time. And I was thinking, well, what am I doing for the Panth? I'm alright, I'm doing my part, I'm doing my nickname, I'm taking from Maharaj. I'm taking. But what am I giving back? And that's what really shocked me. You know, Kabir ji di uttuk hai na ki mohe marne ka chao hai. Maro to har ke dua. But फिर पूछते हैं कि मत हर पूछे कौन है परे हमारे पास. Any hoye ki you die for Guru, like you take Amrit, and then you get to their door, and then they go, who are you? Tusi kita ki mere vaste.
Yeah.
And that's what scared me. I was like, oh man, and actually I felt really bad. And so I thought, if I was thinking, what should I do?
Sure.
And then I took a hukumnama as I tried to take hukumnama from Maharaj. And the hukumnama just said, just follow it, just follow whatever you want to it to the max. Don't worry about money or anything like that. So I just started this. I just thought, you know, a YouTube channel would be easy. I can keep my business. I can just do it in my spare time.
Yeah, of course.
That's how I thought about that. So I started these videos. It was in my office actually. Because the first few videos you see it's actually at my desk.
Yes.
And I just had the camera up and I just had to learn about editing. Had to learn about how to plug stuff on YouTube. And the name is what it is. It describes it.
Definitely.
It's the basics.
It says what it is on the tin,
People didn't know what is Sikhi, what is the point of it, why was it made, who made it. And then also there's people doing attacks upon our Panth, like, you know, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is Muslim, for example, people are claiming that. How do we give the answer? And there wasn't any answers out there, you know, on YouTube. It's okay, I mean, people have done a lot of stuff on websites.
Yes.
But when technology changes, you have to react.
Definitely.
So, yeah, Maharaj Kirpa, I just started making a few videos here and there. And then we were lucky, we got the slot at Park Avenue Gurdwara, which is like the biggest Gurdwara in South already.
Yes, yes.
Park Avenue Havelock. So we got a 1 hour slot every Sunday. And then, again, I wasn't prepared to do it, just like Gurbani Katha. I didn't come up with it. But I started doing Mool Mantar, and a friend of mine said, why don't you just carry on? And I was like, well, I can't do Japji Sahib Katha, I'm no way to do that. But he said, well, you know, you can take other people's Punjabi Katha and translate it into English.
Definitely.
So it's a translation service. I'm not trying to say I know this. I'm just translating Katha into English.
But I think it's absolutely fantastic because, especially these days, you don't want to go through reams and reams of information and read lots of things when you're trying to actually research things. You just want to watch a video. And I think that concept is so simple, yet it's brilliant. And did you ever think that the basics of Sikhi would be as big as it is? I mean, it's
I don't
huge.
know if it is that big yet.
Well,
but I didn't think it. No, I just thought I'd carry on doing my normal work.
Yes.
And make a video in a couple of weeks. And then it became like 2-3 videos a week. And then I just was doing nothing but this. And then it came to the point where I wasn't doing any work on my business. And I had to make a choice then. Do I go back to work and leave this because it was getting too much? Or do I carry it on? Because there seems to be a big need for it. Because we were doing Gurbani Katha Japji Sahib. We were doing videos or blogs on the side. Yes. Then we had the idea to street prachar. I don't know if you've seen, I think they play the videos on Sikh channel. They're quite popular. Yeah. Just talking to people about Sikhi. This leaflet we made, this is like the idea that what would you tell someone about Sikhi if you met them? And normally you get this very kind of dry, what is Sikhi? They'll tell you, yeah, we believe in one God. They won't talk about Naam. They'll say we have the 5 Ks and we believe in ethics. We keep talking about the ethics and we keep talking about the 5 Ks. We never talk about Naam. Hamare jaise Nanak ke kar keval Naam. In Guru Nanak Dev Ji's house, it's all about the connection to God. And instead we tell people everything about the outside of the cake, but not what's inside the cake, you know? Yeah. And no one ever sells a cake without telling you what's inside it. So no one's buying Sikhi, not our youth and not people outside. They're not buying it because we're not telling them what it is really. So that's basically where the street prachar came in. And then it became too much. So I had to make a choice and we asked Maharaj again, ki kariye? So Maharaj said, just do it full time, basically. So then I quit my job, and we set the charity up to be a prachar charity, and that's when other people like Gobind Singh got involved, and we've been. It's basically, you know, every single granthi in this country
Yes.
is full time.
That's right.
You know that, right? There's not one single granthi who's not full time. Every single one of our Panth Kathawachiks is full time. Sansing Maskeen Ji, Gyani Pindarpal Ji, all these Gyani Sheikhs, and they all do this with all their time. But somehow we have an idea that the youth here can't do it full time. But when I was in Canada recently, I went there for a tour, and in Toronto, a Singh said something very interesting to me. He said that he went with one of the Gyanis to the visa embassy.
Sure.
The visa officer pushda, what's wrong with you Sikhs? He was like, what do you mean what's wrong with us? We're fine. He said, no, you've been here for 100 years, right? He said, yeah. Because how come in 100 years you haven't got one Canadian pracharak? Why are you always getting people from India?
Yes.
And I thought to myself, you know, and that's basically confirmed what I was thinking, that the youth here, they need to hear Sikhi from somebody who's from here. Initially, I'm not saying that you obviously the Kathawachiks are Gyani Sher Singh, that they're not important.
Just to get that trigger and that inspiration.
But they don't relate. They don't relate to that person
Sure.
on a you know. And what's happening here is the youth are so far away from it, they don't even know what it is.
ਦਰਅਸਲ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰਕ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੀਰਤਨੀਆਂ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਕਲਾਸ ਬਣਾਤੀ ਇੱਕ ਜਮਾਤ ਬਣਾਤੀ ਵੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਅਦਰਵਾਈਜ਼ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੁਰਾਤਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਆ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਲਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਲ ਕੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ
ਉਹ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਹ ਕਿ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇਖੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ Maharaj, people have not seen Maharaj. Even with and they can't even read the akkars.
Yes.
Now what do you do with that? And you can't say to them कि तुसी पंजाबी पहला सीखो. Because they don't know why. क्यों सीखा? If they have all the other options out there, if I learn Spanish, I can go travel in Spain, I can have fun in Spain. If I learn this, they know what they will get from what will they get from learning Gurmukhi? We don't tell them that, we just say learn Gurmukhi, you know? So the why is being lost. And that's why basically we started this. One of the things that we do, we also have a course. It's like a 12-week course we wrote. Every one evening a week you come to the Gurdwara.
Yes.
And it's a 2.5-hour course. And you cover everything from beginning of Sikhi, from Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj to now. And you know, the people that have gone on the course, they're now one of the key sevadars that we have. And they've done, you know, they've done 40 weeks. And for them, some of them, it's been life-changing.
Yes,
they turned up first day not knowing anything. And now they study the whole history of Sikhi, the philosophy, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And we're repeating that course and want to take it so that it's available in every Gurdwara. So basically, it's like a plan just to give the knee of the, you know, not of the panth, but just to be, if somebody's confused about Sikhi, they can at least find out what it is, you know. And I'm not saying that I'm no expert. That's why we call it basics. You know, the Mahapurukhs and the sons, they can do the advanced stuff. But जिथे मतलब normal thing है कि जैसे इंसान को पता होना चाहिए कि Sikhi है कि, you know, what did Maharaj say in Japji Sahib? What did they tell the Sikhs to do daily? Then we can try to answer that. So we do Q&As. So many questions out there, you won't believe.
That's
you know,
fantastic.
IT ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਬੁక్స్ ਹੈ ਕੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ what it is my wife's a graphic designer है ना and she obviously we've got kids as well, got 2 little ones, one's 5, one's 3, so we were always thinking there should be books for kids.
Yeah, of
but there are not that many books for kids that are made not from India but from here, designed for kids that are living here, you know. So the first one we made was this one, and what we do is everything's 13, our prachar charity, we fund these books and then we sell the books and hopefully the money comes back into the charity. So it's kind of like using the funds for something like a panthic, investing in the panth. So this was the first one we made, a Sikh puzzle and activity book. I think a lot of people have seen these, and it's just, you know, little puzzles about Sikhi. It's not just colouring, it's like puzzles. So that was the first one.
Absolutely brilliant. I wish I had this when I was a kid.
ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ
Punjabi and English is both, so you can sell it in Europe, you can sell it everywhere.
very nice.
And it's just having fun learning about Sikhi. So
ਇਹ ਚ ਪੇਂਟਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਰੰਗ ਭਰਨੇ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਬੱਚਿਆਂ
but also it's got
It
like
looks so
Gurmukhi,
cool.
the different, you know, find the odd letter out, you know, that complete this puzzle, you know. So that was the first one, and we sold 7,000 of those, and they're very easy to just give out to kids.
7,000
Yeah, we sold Maji Kirpa. I mean, it's a lot of work actually, to be honest. There's not much money in it. You have to stand around in loads of places handing out these books, and but luckily it's fairly cheap. It's only £2, and you can buy that on eBay as well from our eBay store. And then the second
eBay ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ store eBay store
Mighty Khalsa, just type in Mighty Khalsa and you find it. Mighty
eBay
Khalsa
ਤੋਂ
books, ਹਾਂਜੀ
PayPal ਰਾਹੀਂ pay ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ. And the second thing we made now, this is the most like latest, which just come out literally, it's brand new, and it's called, it's like a Mool Mantar, Pehli Paudi, the first step, and it goes through all the bits in the Mool Mantar, with nice pictures. And Bibi Baljinder Kaur, who is a great court illustration, so she's done all the illustrations. They're very modern. It's a board book, so it's waterproof.
waterproof ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ
And it's printed on sustainable materials and soya
ink. It looks
ink.
absolutely fantastic.
It's
I
very
must
cute
say.
as well,
Yeah, it is.
And by
It's
Navreet
very
Singh from
lovely.
Coventry, you must know him. He's done the translations. So it's in English, but it's explained the Mool Mantar in very cute pictures. We just got it made. It's expensive to make them,
Of
but we
course,
hope that
yeah.
people will buy them, and the profits go back to Prachar. You see, so they don't just we're not making a business out of this. It's the Prachar is coming back. So hopefully.
Definitely. Do you have any more books in the pipeline then?
Yeah, we do, and we have people turning up. It's the idea is that the people come to us with their idea,
Sure.
but they don't know how to do it, and we help them get it, making it real. Because I think this book would have stayed on a shelf. It would have the first step, Mighty Khalsa, the first step, and this one's £7. But I mean, for example,
ਬਹੁਤ 7 pound ਚ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਸਤੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਦਾ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜਸਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕੈਨਵਸ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਟਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਇਦਾਂ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੈ
it's very cute.
quality ਹੈ
Our kids love it as well. It's ideal if your kids are between 2 till whatever 6, 7. It's a great gift for birthdays. And really, nothing like that is out there at the moment. It's all stuff from India, and the kids here don't relate to it because what we do is we go to Toys R Us, and we buy them some book about that's not my lion, or that's not my dog. But what about Sikhi? So making it about Maharaj right from the very beginning.
Definitely. It's such a great idea, I must say. Where did the inspiration for the books come from?
That's all to do with my wife, Sukhni Kaur.
Yeah.
So she wants to do that, and all we do is fund it. So we provide the funding. So again, if somebody came to us with an idea, and they said we want to do this, then we would try and think about whether we could get the funding and then make that idea happen. Because I'm sure, that idea would have stayed on a shelf somewhere, or on somebody's computer, just waiting to happen. And I'm sure there's people out there right now that have got great ideas, but they never did anything about it. And the problem is that our Panth is full of people that want to do something for the Panth, but then they go to the Gurdwara to say, will you help me? Gurdwara says, no thanks, I'm too busy with my building fund. They go home and go forget about it, put it on the shelf, and that's it. It's gone. Like the idea of the Waheguru course I told you about, the 12-week course.
Yes.
That sat on my desk for about 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
I wrote it probably when I was at university, the idea, the concept.
Sure.
And I did nothing with it because I was too busy with work. I was too busy with other things. And I realized actually, if you want Sikhi to happen, if you want to do, and if you do things part-time, you get part-time results. If you do it full-time, you get full-time results. And now that course, we've done it 3 times. And I ran it last year in Shepherd's Bush, then we ran it in Southall, and now we're running it in the city. And really, I think it's time now for our Panth to just start doing stuff. To just invest. Because Maharaj, I always think about this. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, when they were asked, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, tusi apne 4 puttar var de Panthe wasi. Panthe, they Sarbans Dani, they sacrificed their 4 children.
Yes.
The famous quote, they say, Kis 4 muhe ta kya hua, jeevat kai hazar. So they say, look, if 4 have died, so what? Thousands more live on. They meant the Khalsa. The children, that's what they see, us as their children. But they never said that there's thousands of Gurdwara. They didn't say, it doesn't matter if I lost my 4 children, there's thousands of Gurdwara. But it seems nowadays we only think about Gurdwara. We don't think about investing in the Panth. And the building we know is not Sikhi. Sikhi is in the people that walk into the Gurdwara Matha Tek. So if we're not teaching them Sikhi in the Gurdwara, then what are we doing?
Sure.
And it's almost like a slap in the face of, it's just Gurdwara we say to Gurdwara is a school.
Yes.
And then we say the Guru is a teacher. And we say the Sikh is a student. But classes kitte hai?
So what advice, you're a parent yourself, as you've mentioned. What advice would you give to other parents out there to get their kids into Sikhi? Because in one hand, I've seen parents force Sikhi onto their children and they go the other way. So what kind of advice would you give to get children onto the right path?
I'm still working that out myself. I tell you, it's really hard. It's really hard as a parent, and I really sympathize with all the parents.
Yeah.
I would say one thing though. I think we should make the parents into Sikhs. The thing is, if the parents know, then if the kids ask the parents a question, the parents know the answer, then at least the kids might be able to know that there's something there to learn. But what's happening now in our Panth is, all the Sevadars, they do great work. They have camps for kids. They teach the kids Sikhi, and what happens, they go home, and the parents like, no, not interested. So all that hard work goes to waste. But if we taught the parents, then it's like the parents would teach the kids automatically. So I think that the focus now for what we're doing really is we're not focusing on teaching the kids. If you look at the videos, they're not designed for kids at the moment.
Yes.
They're designed for adults.
Yes.
And they're designed for people that are like 14, 15, or maybe even older, 18, 20. We've had people on the course. There was an auntie on there who had a son who was about 19, 20. So they're people are learning when they're older, and then they kind of applying that. Hopefully when they have kids, then they'll teach their kids. So it has to be double-pronged. Maybe if the people don't know the stories about the gurus, they don't know what to tell their kids.
Yes.
The kid comes home and says, why do we have a patka? It's hard. One advice I would give to the parents is, even if you don't know much about Sikhi yourself, keep the case of your child. Now, don't have anything against the hair of your child. But child is a gift from Guruji.
Yes.
So then keep the hair. When they get older, right, hopefully by that time, we as a Panth would have sorted ourselves out a little bit. And then Sikhi would be available, and then maybe they can learn about why they have their case. But if we cut their case from day one, that means we never value it from day one. So we should keep the case, even if we don't have, even if the parents don't have case, they should still keep the case.
मैं देखे काफ़ी परिवार में कई देखे हैं कि जो पेरेंट्स है उन्होंने आप में केस ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਤਲ ਕਰਾਇਆ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਕਈ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰੱਖੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਦੇਖੇ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਕੀ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ
Bus, just to let everyone know that we are a charity, so what we need the support of the Sangat out there at the moment. So we have got a bit of a shortfall at the moment. So what we need is people to do donate. So you can go on everything's13.org/donate. You can go on Virgin Giving, search for Everything's 13, and like again, donate. So we can, if you want to set up something like £5 a month, £10 a month, whatever's you can afford at the moment, really. But what we're asking is you invest in the work that we're doing, so we can ensure that the youngsters and a lot of the people out there do have a good knowledge of Sikhi, which is what they need. Like Baji said, if the parents know about Sikhi, the kids will know about Sikhi as well.
Definitely. I have to ask this question. I mean, you mentioned how you go out on the streets and you do prachar. Do you ever have people who are non-Sikhs who come up to you and ask about Sikhi? Do you ever preach to them and tell them about Sikhi?
But we don't call it preaching, we call it Sikhi awareness for everyone.
Sure.
Everybody should be aware of the message.
Yes.
So, and we start off, we look at the leaflet, we start off by saying that there's one being that made all of us, that we're all equal. And then we go straight to Dasam Dwar. That's a very unique message. The Maharaj is given it. We start talking about Naam and connecting to God straight away. And that's something very different out there.
Sure, of course.
So then, normally, if you look at the person on the street, when they think about meditation, they think about Buddhism.
Yes.
They don't think about Sikhi. Sikhs not known for this. But this is what a Sikhi is. Sikhi started from Naam. So we have got people sometimes that ask us questions. If you can look at the videos on our, we've got a playlist called Street Prachar.
Yeah.
And some people have been very interested, and finding out more. In fact, some of the best conversations, I know it's sad for the Sangha, some of the best conversations don't get recorded. Because people often, they don't want to be on camera.
Yeah, of course.
So you only see some of the ones that people agree to get. And also when somebody's being recorded, they're a bit more conscious, self-aware. But the ones that you have where the people are not worried about being filmed, they're very relaxed, and people are getting, people really love the message. And they're a very common thing from us to hear, even from atheists. They say, if I believed in a religion, I'd believe in Sikhi. And this is, and we want that. We're making another leaflet now. It's going to be the 10 questions, and it's going to be 10 different things, like a booklet. It's again, Govind Singh just finished designing it. That will be again like another support. So now you got in Canada, America, all over the university Sikh societies, they're giving these out to people, because it's not a boring kind of long booklet. It's just something very small, very eye-catching, and we're hoping that every Sikh sees this as a tool they can use to do prachar. It doesn't mean that only myself and us lot, everything basic you should be doing prachar. everybody out there can be using this. And there's a video on our channel about Mandev Singh, who took one of these, had it in his car.
Yes.
And some lady at the car shop where he went to get his car done, she was interested in Sikhi, and he didn't have anything to get. And he went back to the car and he found this. And he goes, here, take this. And from that, she started watching because the channel address is on there. She started watching the videos, and she's like getting into Sikhi. So
That's fantastic.
we've had
It's
people,
really
like we
great.
had a lady in Washington,
Yes.
a Gori, who's now become a Sikh, just from the
Brilliant.
channel.
Just from the channel.
Yeah, she changed her name. She's doing Bart. She's doing all this stuff, and it's just from YouTube. And you don't even know what the effect of something can be. I think our problem is that we haven't actually tried to do prachar
Definitely.
to the West. Only Yogi Harbhajan Singh managed.
Yeah.
No one else has really tried in earnest
Yeah,
since then.
USA ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਫੀ
Yeah.
What's
So-
the most, what's the common question that everybody always asks, you know, that question that people keep on coming back to and that you find that when everybody, you know, emails in or, you know, comments on YouTube, what is that one question that people are always asking? Do you find there's that one common question?
I don't. I want to keep the chardi kala, but there is a bit of a tandi kala in this question because
Okay.
the problem is that in our panth at the moment, it seems that we're so concerned about rules and regulations.
Yeah.
Our whole thinking is what rules and regulations, and it's not the rehat of naam. Naam is a pritham rehat of part parna, kirtan karna,
Hanji.
waking up in the morning and doing your amritwala, doing your nitnem. Unfortunately, the questions we get are only tend to be around the two things that Kaljug is most famous for, you know, kaam ras and tongue. People are interested in finding out what they can do at a physical level with other people, and they're interested in what they can eat. There's always questions about what should I eat, what can I do, will Guruji be annoyed with me if I eat this, if I eat that, and it just seems, you know, like that's all how people seem to, you know, what. Unfortunately, this is the world.
Yeah.
ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਲੰਗਰ ਚ ਕੀ ਬਣਿਆ
Yeah, or maybe that, but it's more like, should I eat meat or not, or should I,
Yeah.
you know, can I mess around with people off another? And it's you worry because the story, the Sakhi that I've heard of Guru Nanak Dev Ji when they met Kaljug, is Kaljug came with those two things. It says, you know, calm and taste, yeah, will be my two weapons. And I think that the Sikhs, unfortunately, have fallen to Kaljug's trap. And we're not thinking about Gurbani, Naam. No, people sometimes do ask really good questions, you know, that are about Naam. But unfortunately, people do tend to focus upon these two things a lot.
Yeah.
And my advice to people that are getting into Sikhi would be that I know you got loads of questions about that stuff, just park them for a little while, yeah, and stick to doing what Guru Sahib said, which is wake up in the morning, do your nitnem, say Vaheguru as many times as you can, go to Sadh Sangat, do Kirtan, and start learning about what Guru Sahib did and what they said. That's the key
Definitely.
thing. If they start doing that, that's a strong foundation for their future. Then no matter what happens, people, they'll know the history, they'll know what Gurmat is, they know what Bani is. And then, you know, those questions that come up, they'll get resolved automatically because they will have a background knowledge. And Ajkal, there's a lot of people that just argue about little things, but they don't have any background knowledge, no depth there. It's just paper thin. You ask them, okay,
Sure.
you read Japji Sahib, what does it mean? And we did a test at the camp as well, at Sikhi camp. We asked people, how many people have listened to Katha of Japji Sahib? And it was about 10%
Really?
of the people that were even into
If that,
Sikhi.
yeah.
If that. I suppose
Yeah.
me being a bit generous. So you got to worry that if there's only 10% of our panth that's ever listened to Japji Sahib, then we're in real trouble because that's the first Bani.
Yeah, of
ਜੀ
course.
And,
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ
ਸਮਾਂ
So
ਜੀ।
if you've got time, go on the YouTube channel. The whole Katha of Japji Sahib is already on there.
ਵਾਹ
And also, I just want to say, it's not just me, Pai Sukral Singh, also Sikh Inspiration, they do Katha, they've been on Sikh channel. Their YouTube channels out there. But just listen to what Bani says,
Absolutely.
you know.
ਮੈਸੇਜ ਕੀ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ ਐਂਡ ਵਿੱਚ
Invest in education. Don't take Sikhi lightly. Maharaj has given us his big gift. They say, we have come upon this earth to listen to Bani. Ayo padan sunan ko Bani. Maharaj says, you've come to listen to Bani. So unless we teach Bani to our youth, we're doing them a disservice.
Yes.
So the only way we can teach Bani is to get teachers. You can't teach without teachers. You can build a school, but kuch hona nahi. You can put the students in there, but kuch hona nahi. You have to get teachers. So what we're doing is we're hiring people, we're convincing people to leave their nice paying jobs and come and work on prachar for less than they would get outside, but do it for the panth. So if you want to help us to spread that message that, you know, that the Gurbani gets out there, then, you know, support us. And as Gobind Singh was saying, you know, you can just set up a monthly donation. Everything's 13.org. You can buy our books on eBay. That would help us.
Yes.
You can, you know, come to the programs, share the videos. We really want people to learn. It's not just we want you to give us money so we can teach it. We want people to learn it. So watch the videos,
Yes.
share the videos.
Fantastic.
You know, that's it.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
That's
ਜੀ
all.
ਬਹੁਤ-
Thank you so much for bringing us on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on the
Good buddy,
program.
good buddy.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. It really
Wonderful.
has. Thank you.
ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਾ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ, ਆਪ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਬੜਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਹਾ ਲਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਬੁੱਕਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਈਬੇ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬੜਾ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਹੈ ਈਬੇ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੁੱਕਸ ਬਾਏ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਗਿਫਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਗਿਫਟ ਦੇਣਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਿਫਟ ਦੇਣਾ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਗਿਫਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦਿਓ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਹੋਰ ਗਿਫਟ ਨਾ ਦਿਓ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗਿਫਟ ਉਹ ਦੇਣਾ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਗਿਫਟ ਵੀ ਦਿਓ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਮਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਕਦੇ ਸਮਾਂ ਬਣਿਆ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ
Yes, so a huge big thank you to both of our guests for coming into the Breakfast Show studio today. We were very, very honoured to have them. And I think a lot of things that we are missing in Sikhi today are the basics. We do need to go back to basics sometimes and look at that. And I will encourage everybody to go onto YouTube and check out those videos. And of course, if you yourselves want to purchase the books that we've talked about in today's program, then you can do. You can go onto the eBay and have a look at Mighty Khalsa. So just type in Mighty Khalsa on eBay and that should come up. But we were very, very honoured to have our guests in the Breakfast Show studio today. And of course...